Everyone, welcome into the Flashback. It's right, a brand new edition. Took a little bit of time off, but we are back here ready to talk some sports. We have our headlines, of course. March Madness is taking place. It's right, March Madness with the north, south, east, west, every direction and every angle that you can think of. We had some Cinderella stories early on. Some of those have faded away, but we still have some really strong teams and some storylines as well. With me, as always, Nate Dogg in the house.
How are you, my friend?
I am doing well. Your bracket, how is that looking right now?
I'm actually doing pretty well. Yeah. I've got, I believe, 12 of my 16 for my Sweet 16 still in there.
That's not bad, 75%.
Yeah. 7 of my 8 Elite 8 and 3 of my 4 Final 4.
Now, the 7 of 8 on the Elite 8, that's more important.
Yes, absolutely.
Obviously, you're going to have some Sweet 16s fall, that sort of thing, but you have the majority of who's going to be going to the finals, the Final Four and all that jazz, and you're sitting in pretty good shape. Who are the... I'm going to guess Virginia is one that is not
you can read me like a book. That's exactly right. Yeah, Virginia was my one Elite 8 that just crapped out.
That is the one Elite 8 for me. I actually had going all the way to the final game.
Ooh,
so,
wow. Yeah.
That's a burn for me.
That's tough. That's tough.
Tough hitter. All right, so we have March Madness. We're going to talk about that a whole lot more later on, as well as some NBA news and some NFL notes. They are getting into their... what do you call this? Off-season meetings, I guess.
Yeah, big owner plush hotel caviar and champagne meetings is what I call them.
Spend some of the billions of dollars that they rake in from our extraordinarily high ticket prices.
Yes, and now you know where your money goes. That's kind of nice.
My beer money goes towards their beer money.
Yeah, or their champagne money, I would say. Their Dom Perignon money.
Speaking of champagnes and wines, have you seen the latest? There's some wines that have traces of arsenic in them.
Really?
Yeah,
I have not
a lot
seen
of
that.
California wines, I guess, have been afflicted by this. I'm not sure how it has gotten into it, if whether it's an ingredient that came in or whether it was through soil. I don't know. But I did read the general list of some of those. Carlo Rossi, surprisingly, not on the list.
Oh, what a bummer.
I was shocked.
I thought arsenic was just included in the deal with that.
And then I remembered, it's like, oh, wait, no, Carlo Rossi's not going to be on there because that's just lighter fluid and sugar water.
Right,
with a little bit
need
of,
for arsenic.
Yeah, with a little bit of food coloring. That's where we get our blush.
Yeah, that's nice. It's
just
he's that little tang at the end.
Just a touch. So no Carlo Rossi, though. I did see a lot of Sutter Homes.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Which is a fairly popular, under $20 wine.
Well, and a lot of restaurants serve Sutter Home, too. You see a lot of the table wines in different restaurants.
Exactly.
So, wow.
So it's one of those that is in abundance. A lot of people enjoy it. But yeah, if you're checking it out, Google that. If you're a big wine drinker, make sure you're not taking in the arsenic because eventually they can catch up to you.
Yeah, time to switch to Four Loko, apparently.
When Four Loko is the good option.
Right. It's healthier.
The healthy choice, Four Loko. Just don't go out on the streets with a gun afterwards. Okay, let's get to our get right into things with our headlines. All right, Nate, first headline. What do we have?
We have got headline number 1. Colts linebacker Eric Walden attacked by his ex-girlfriend. Yeah, and attacked is putting it mildly, I would say.
Yeah. Well, let's just take a look at the story. So Erica Palmer, who is the ex-girlfriend, which I'll get to in a moment. I really don't like her being tagged as ex-girlfriend, to be honest with you. But we'll talk about that in a moment. Erica Palmer had left her kids in the car. These are Walden's kids, too. They had them together. They're 2 kids.
Correct.
So they're waiting in the car, and Walden's not home. She enters into the home, stakes out the joint, gets in through the back door.
Right.
Hides out there.
Lays in wait.
like a lion in the jungle, or in the Sahara.
The Serengeti.
The Serengeti, yeah. Not too many lions in the jungles. I guess maybe a jaguar in the jungle. But Brooke is. She comes out when Walden arrives. He arrives with another lady that he's seen at the time, apparently.
Yes, his current girlfriend.
Yeah. So the current gets in there along with Walden. Girlfriend gets up with a bat. She has a bat as well as a gun, apparently.
You know what? You never bring just a bat to a gunfight. You bring a bat and a gun to a gunfight.
That's some secure backup. So I don't know if she was toting both of them at the same time, just double fisting weapons, or what the case was. maybe she like stuns them with the bat and then fires off the shot.
She could have had like a cool holster with the gun ready to go. That way you have both hands on the bat, choking up like you're supposed to. We don't know. These are details we need to know.
Barry Bonds style. Hunter Pence. She was looking like Hunter Pence out there. So maybe she was holding them up, getting them in position with a gun, and then apparently she takes the bat, busts the girlfriend's arm, breaks her arm.
Swings the bat so hard she breaks her arm.
Wow. So, she may have a future in the Major League Baseball. Walden wrestled the gun away from her.
Right.
Then Palmer leaves.
Yeah, she ran away. So she did the damage with the bat, got the gun wrestled away, and then ran away.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's not all.
No. You thought it was done. She's like, just wants to go there. Oh, this is the new girl, huh?
Wow.
Boom. Take her out, then leave and maybe possibly come back and start something new.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that wouldn't have happened. But the fact of the matter is, she came back. So Walden's trying to get the girlfriend into the car.
He is attending to his he's attending to his poor girlfriend who now has a broken arm, trying to, like you said, get her into the car.
And then all of a sudden, I'm back.
Oh, man.
Shling, has a knife with her.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a butterfly knife or a switchblade or whatever, or just maybe your
could have been a butter knife for all we know.
Kitchen variety garden knife or something. So she comes back and starts slicing and dicing the guy.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't know how badly she sliced and probably got him on the arm or something.
From what I heard, it was not severe enough to cause any major damage going forward. But the fact of the matter is she still sliced him with a knife after having a gun and a bat. I mean,
that's crazy.
This lady brought 3 weapons.
I've got knives, I got guns, I got... So she went to, where you go to get your Saturday night special or whatever, some pawn shop or whatnot. She's like, I need a weapon. I'm thinking about attacking somebody. He brings her probably back to the back room, and just like in the movies, you see like the full wall of
the arsenal.
The arsenal's there, grenades, the rocket launchers, to your 9mm, whatever you want, whatever range. And then on the side, he's got a baseball bat and some knives too. She must have just said, okay, I'm more in this price range.
Yeah. maybe she got a discount. You buy a gun and a knife, you get a free bat.
I wonder if she had some rope too.
Oh,
you can always use rope.
You can. I don't want to know why you know that.
Yeah, Boondock Saints. All right. So I've just in.
Well, and again, an important point that you touched on earlier: her kids or their mutual kids were in the car while all this. Unbelievable. I mean, that is. I am shocked.
Here's the thing, too. When I saw the headline, attacked by ex-girlfriend, that's actually the part that kind of got me a little at the end of it when I find out. At the bottom of the article is when they said, she's the mother of the 2 kids between them. Well, okay, then she's not an ex-girlfriend. She is the mother of the you don't just label it as ex-girlfriend. Whether they were married or not, or whatever the case was, she's still the mother of their kids.
Right.
So she's not just dinged as some ex-girlfriend.
Right. You're right. That's the part that was the most shocking to me, with all the horrible violence and all the fact that, like we said, she lay in wait for him to come home after breaking into his house. The fact that her kids or their mutual kids were in the car waiting is just adds such a new horrible dimension. Unbelievable.
And apparently the car had my kids are honor students at, no. Just a bumper sticker, I don't know.
It's going to have a my kids are in therapy sticker pretty soon.
Guns, knives, and baseball bats. Wow. That's one way to get a woman out of your life, or a woman try to take you out of life, I guess. I've heard stories of women just kind of like, with crazy eye or whatever, they show up at the house, that sort of stuff. I've heard of people stalking, staking out places. People get jealous whether or not a relationship ended on terms that they wanted it to, or whatever the case was. Sometimes one or the other parties gets a little distraught, I guess.
The jilted lover.
Yeah, the jilted lover. So she comes back jilted and just decides to stake out the place. But then the weapon's on top, and the thing that got me was the double back.
Yes.
Because you just don't do that.
Right.
You don't do that.
You kind of made your point with the first one.
Yeah. I mean, we're even now?
You broke her arm, you broke into his house, then you broke his current girlfriend's arm, and then you're at the double back. Because that wasn't enough, what you did. Oh, man.
That's when you need, like, the Pulp Fiction. What's his name? Samuel L. Jackson.
Right.
Yeah. Blank be cool. Okay. All right. Next headline. What do we have?
We have got headline number 2. Allen Iverson, a former Philadelphia 76er great, interested in a front office role with the 76ers.
Well, he is a non-graduate of Georgetown.
Correct.
Left after
Came out
his
after sophomore. Was his freshman year?
I think
I
it
thought
was
it was
his
sophomore.
freshman.
Okay.
Well, he might have been a sophomore. Either way.
He was a young kid, for sure.
Yeah, he wasn't majoring in business, didn't pick up the degree or anything like that. I don't know how his style and everything. Hey, he's a tough guy, had a great NBA career. He's one of those guys, small, continued to drive it to the hoop.
Yes.
Took a lot of hits over the years, that Dwayne Wade style.
Completely unafraid to take it into the key. Yeah, he sacrificed everything during the games, or he put his body on the line without regard to his health.
Mm-hmm. And, who knows if he had actually a decent team over the years, if the Sixers may have won an NBA final rather than just making it to one in an off year. I think that was, I don't remember what year that was, 97, 98 or something, when the Sixers made their run there. But, it wasn't a peak time for a lot of dynasty teams in the NBA. Anyhow, so right now, Sixers are in tough shape.
Yeah.
Second worst record in the NBA. The
Gave
Knicks are the
away all their good players.
They gave away good players. Yeah, we talked about even their young good players with Michael Carter-Williams the other day. One winning season in the last 10 years.
Yeah, not so good.
Something needs to change. Not sure if Iverson is the answer, though.
But he is the answer. He is the answer. That's Allen Iverson.
He does. He has an answer for every question, apparently. So I'm not sold on that. I don't think anything will come of it. Maybe get him in the front office in a minor role to get him acquainted and situated, and then see what he can do.
Yeah, kind of let him dip his toe in the water, see what kind of ideas he has. I think that, the way I look at it, it can't hurt. You just said yourself, one winning season in the last 10, what's he going to do? Make him one winning season in the last 20? Yeah, he can't hurt anything. So I'd say let him have a crack at it. Why not?
And let's be honest, the 76ers really haven't been a name since probably 1976. Honestly, they've had some decent teams here and there, but over the years, it really hasn't been a successful place to play basketball.
No, not at all.
And why that is, I don't understand. Philadelphia is a basketball-rich area.
Yeah, and it's a city that loves their sports.
Yeah, quite a few universities, the passion of the fans. So I'm surprised that the fans haven't come out with pitchforks in these last 10 years, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I am too. But again, from just strictly a PR standpoint, this might not be a bad move for Philadelphia 76ers. Philadelphia loves Allen Iverson. He's very well respected in that city. They know what he did for the basketball team. And again, from strictly a PR standpoint, it's going to engender some goodwill towards the organization, bringing back a guy like Allen Iverson to the 76ers front office.
That's a good point. So, yeah, like I said, it can't hurt. Can only maybe at least kind of bring in some more of the fan base until they get things figured out there, which will probably be in another 10 or 12 years.
Front office? We talking about front office?
I'm talking about trades. I'm not talking about fantasy basketball here. I'm talking about real trades.
I want to hear his first press conference and hear something like that. That's what I'm looking forward to.
All right, final headline. What do we have?
Headline number 3. Bryce Harper voted the most overrated player by his peers for the second straight time by ESPN, the magazine.
Twice. Once is special.
Yes.
Twice is unique.
Yes.
And Bryce Harper, maybe voted the most overrated from his peer, and this is from peers.
Yes, it was the survey was conducted by ESPN the magazine, but it was from a poll of his peers done anonymously.
Yeah.
So it wasn't ESPN the magazine saying that; they were just reporting on his peers voting him most overrated.
41% of the vote, apparently.
Yeah, he ran away with it. It wasn't. I think the next person that was Puig.
Yasiel Puig, yeah.
Right, and he had 21% of the vote, so doubled him up. Almost.
And, I think in this year Puig had 15%, and then last year the two finished the same.
Oh, right,
and they were 24% and 21%.
That's right, and this year there was a greater discrepancy.
Yeah.
With,
so Harper's like, you know what? I'm in a league of my own. He separated himself.
Number 1, number 2, way down the road.
Well, there's some positives and some negatives on Bryce Harper. Obviously, the brash style of Bryce Harper. Not a lot of people are a fan of that. They're not quite accustomed to it. They don't take too kindly to people who are just these young and up-and-comers and already feel that they're established and in the elite group already.
Right.
Yes, you may have the talent that lines up numbers-wise with that, but you still have to earn your stripes. No matter how good you are,
exactly,
you still need to take some licks before you can dish them out. And right now, he's just got more attitude than what's necessary. And he's playing in D.C., so it's not a high-exposure area. Let's be honest. D.C., yes, it's big city.
Sure.
You have the politicians and all that, going on. But when it comes to exposure for these teams, even the Redskins, unless they're winning, they're kind of out of the news.
Kind of overlooked, overshadowed.
The Bullets, another overlooked team. Now people are talking about them because they're losing so bad.
Well, and then you add that into the fact that with the Washington Nationals, where he's an outfielder, they used to be the Montreal Expos. Yeah. So in baseball terms, they're a relatively new team, if that makes sense. Where they're not the New York Yankees, they're not the Los Angeles Dodgers. They don't have the history and heritage. They're the team that used to be the Expos.
Yeah, this isn't the Washington Senators. So they used to be the Expos, of course. But you look at Bryce Harper, and speaking of the Nats, there when they started up being such a young franchise. Look at what happened to Alfonso Soriano when he went to the Nats.
Right.
Remember? Do you even remember him playing for the Nats? No.
Barely. I think I remember him putting on the uniform at one point.
Collecting a paycheck and then finally
and then going back to the Yankees.
So Bryce Harper, over the last 3 years, he's had some pretty decent numbers. Batting over 270, 55 homers. But the thing about it is, and the Rookie of the Year, of course, in 2012. He's in his third season. He's already won this award twice.
Which is not a good trend.
And on top of that, last 2 years, 106 games missed.
Oh, yeah. I think that's a big part of the problem is he can't stay healthy enough to stay on the field. And, for whether it's fair or not, that helps feed into the perception that he's overrated, that he can't stay on the field.
And you have to make adjustments. If you're not out on the field and you're not doing it, then maybe you take a look at yourself and you say, maybe I should tone it down a touch for right now until I get back out there and can prove it. So what do you do? All right. That's our headlines. We do have a very interesting story. We're in the studio here down at the Pac West Center in Portland, and I got to tell you, there's a certain fragrance in the air. Are you smelling that? Seems to be a certain fragrance in the air.
I just kind of smell studio right now. I guess.
Are you sure? I kind of smells like a burger. Is that
almost like a charbroil-y kind of smell?
Yeah, like a charbroil. Is that you? Are you wearing the new cologne?
Well, I do have to admit I stumbled across a new product the other day.
Nah, just kidding. No smells going on in the studio except for our natural BO. But here was an interesting article. I got to talk about this. In Japan, they are always coming out with the craziest, zaniest things. They just broke a Guinness record over the weekend for most people sitting in a chair in like a 24-hour period or something like that. They are
apparently
huge.
That's a thing.
That is a thing. Rolling down hills with logs, chasing after them. They do all these kind of strange things where it's slightly askew, and that's all good. But if you want to smell like a deep fried cooker and you can't get hired at Burger King, I don't see how you can't get hired at Burger King, but apparently there's a fragrance out. It's about $41 a bottle. Now, it's just going to be BK Japan who does this, and they plan to sell this. It is it's a Whopper scented cologne.
Oh, the Whopper.
What kind of women you think you're going to attract with that?
Women who really like their charbroiled burgers.
Or is this for women to try to attract men?
Ooh, there you go. It might not be. Maybe we misread. Maybe it should be parfum rather than cologne.
All right, so check this out. Fragrance is going to cost 5,000 yen, about 41 per bottle. BK Japan plans to sell it in stores across the nation of Japan, including up in Hokkaido, the northernmost island.
Thank you for that little geography.
So it's launching on a pretty dubious date, April 1st. I don't think that's April Fool's Day in Japan. I'm not sure, but I would guess they wouldn't align it that way. Anyway, despite the understandable suspicion, the chain insists it's not a prank, but a genuine foray into the cologne market. This is a way to kick it off.
Yes, well, and here's the genius part of their plan. Limited edition. Only 1,000 bottles will be made and sold. Get your hands on them now. They're going quick.
Yeah. Now, what's the shelf life on them?
Probably about the same as a Whopper.
Yeah, I think if you keep them under a heat lamp, it lasts longer.
Put them in a drawer. I can't wait until the whole line comes out with the onion rings and the French fries.
Oh,
onion the rings. Rodeo burger.
I know the onion rings is a foot rub. The French fries is hair gel.
And the new Yumbo lotion.
Yeah, Yumbo. Don't forget about Yumbo. I sprayed on my tummy. When I go to
like ham and cheese.
The Yumbo is their suntan line.
Oh, right. There you go. That makes sense.
The extra fats really bring in the rays. Okay, that's enough of that talk. We had a kind of a crazy week, of course, of March Madness. East, West, North, South, some upsets. Oh, brackets are still alive. We're going to be talking about the brackets here coming up in segment 2, so stick with us on that. We'll also have some NBA notes, and of course, in segment 3, as always, every week now, it's beer me time. So get set for that. In the NFL, Peterson, Vikings, maybe not.
Will he or won't he?
Ooh. Of course, a lot of NFL news. So stick with us. Segment 2 coming up in just a few, right here on the Flashback.